You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drakewing Gaming, and some of you on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you on the Let's Play episode of Violet Memoir, Oscar's Path. Alright, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go! Is there anything I can do to help? We stare at the fox in silence as he fidgets with his fingers, not looking at either of us as if he's ashamed of what he's asking or just a little shy. What? Nah, man, we're doing good now. Trust me, it ain't an issue anymore. Are you certain? Positive. Are you two dating now? We both wince, and Lucas's ears press against his head as soon as he notices, though Oscar quickly tries to reassure him that there's nothing wrong, but he doesn't look to be buying it. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. I should have asked Lily to do this instead. I don't know about that. I think you're doing a great job. Yeah, you're doing fine, man. If you're sure. I am. You might not be so sure, but you really helped me last night. I don't even know if I would have had the courage to go hunting if I didn't run into you. That shocks him so much that he doesn't even give a reply. He just stares at me like I just whispered to him the secrets to the universe. Lucas. Oscar, using his actual name, is enough to jolt him out of it, though it just changes his shock from one of us to the other. You know, I thought you hated me. And not that I didn't deserve it. I'm a loud guy, and you don't like that, but Wallace told me you waited to see if I'd come back, and it felt good. It might shock you considering who I am, but I don't have a lot of close friends. Really? Mr. talks to everyone and probably sleeps with every guy who shows interest in him. Not that that's a bad thing. Nah, you're right, man. I'm a bit of a bicycle. A bicycle? Don't worry about it. Just wanted to say that I appreciate you and hope we can be friends. But Lucas just looks more confused at what Oscar said now than in the metaphor he used before, even tilting his head as he mulls the words over. But weren't we friends already? That shuts Oscar right up, though he looks more happy than shocked. He snaps out of it quickly and tries to play it off with a laugh, but it's clear that Lucas's words hit more than he's letting on. Yeah, of course we were. Don't worry about it, man. I'm just being weird. Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure you guys were okay. I thought it might be easier to talk to me than the others. Why's that? It's not always easy to talk to those you're close to. I know sometimes I don't want to tell my parents things because I don't want to make them sad. Right, I get that. Wait. I should leave now. Lily will likely be wondering where I am, and the quicker we can get that done, the quicker I can get home. I can hear Lucas shuffling next to me, but I ignore it as I ponder what Lucas just said. Sometimes it's harder to talk to those you're close to. If Conrad was hiding things from Nathan, then... Wait, that might help! I nearly jump out of my chair as an idea forms in my head. It isn't a complete one, and I'm not even sure it will lead anywhere, but it might just be worth looking into. What might help? Looks like you have a plan, huh? Well, let's hear it, little dude. I wouldn't call it a plan, exactly. I think Lucas might be onto something. Oh yeah, baby, give me that cold brew coffee right down my throat. What do you mean? I didn't say anything of interest, did I? I was thinking about how people are more likely to hide certain things from people they're close to. Conrad was probably doing the same with Nathan. That's not exactly what I was meaning. But if it helps... I get it. You're saying that maybe he talked to someone else about this, right? Yeah, though I'm not really sure who. Probably someone on the football team. They were close, but they weren't exactly friends, you know? Sounds like a recipe for what we're looking for. Who would you even talk to? Yeah, there's a few options. Might be best to talk to the team captain. If you were going to talk to anyone, it'd probably be someone like him, right? Maybe, but something tells me it probably isn't him. After all, the main reason you probably wouldn't tell people you're close to is so they don't have to worry. We barely talked to him, but the captain seemed like a good guy who cares a lot. He sounded really upset when we brought up Conrad. I don't think he would have wanted him to worry either. Where do you want to start, then? You look like you have an idea. Why are you holding back? I'm not sure if it's the best idea. Then don't do it. It's not worth it if you're worried about it this night. It's not that. I'm just a little nervous. Oscar's eyebrows shoot up, and with speed, I thought they were about to go flying off his head. I can almost see the bulb lighting up in his head. Oh, I get you. That might work. From what I've heard from Selwyn, that guy just knows things. Though I heard he can be pretty tight-lipped, too, so he might not get much. Do you think it's a bad idea? I didn't say that. In fact, I think it's a pretty good one. Just don't get your hopes too high, okay? It'll be best that way. Our discussion is interrupted by Lucas clearing his throat loudly. enough that it catches the attention of a nearby group of people, though Lucas shows no signs of noticing. Can I go now, or do you want me to come with you? I don't think that's a good idea, Grumpy. I don't think you'd like this guy. Why's that? How do I put this? He's like me, but if he enjoyed poking around your head. That does sound unpleasant. I'm going to the library. The last thing I need is to be attacked by a bunch of meatheads. That's a little extreme. We're at a school, after all. If you think you're safe because this is a school, you're very naive. Regardless, we might see each other later tonight. Have a good day, you two. Lucas nearly stumbles as he climbs out, but Oscar is able to reach over and steady him. With the final thanks, he disappears in the same direction as Lily, and we're left to mull over our options. You think Selwyn has his number? If he doesn't, one of his friends will. Just hit him up. I'm sure we'll find him. Well, here goes nothing. Thankfully, Selwyn did have our number and put us in direct contact with our target, but that didn't stop the nervousness that's creeping in my chest. He agreed to meet us near where the football team practiced since he was apparently doing some exercises at the gym nearby. It brought up something that I'd completely forgotten about before now. Alright, I'm going to pause it right there. I'm going to get some water. I'll be right back, y'all. Alright, y'all. We are back. Let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Okay. Oscar and I discussed why Conrad didn't use the gym on East Campus and opted for the one on the Central Campus, but he didn't know any concrete reasons. Maybe we could bring it up. We ended up waiting there for 10 minutes before we saw him walking over to us, though it's a shock that we didn't catch him earlier with how much he stands out. Oh, I like that. That's nice looking. Oh boy, them teeth. Oof. I do like them teeth. Wilf approaches our table without acknowledging us at all until he's standing right next to us, and even then he's just staring down at me with an amused expression like he's waiting for something. That eerie feeling I felt when I first met him is tingling in the back of my head again, but I try my hardest to ignore it and give as welcoming a smile as I can. Hi, thanks for coming to meet us. I know this is pretty short notice, but we just wanted to ask you a few things. It's hardly a problem. I was already on campus after all. Why'd I refuse a request from someone so well-mannered? I see you brought company, too. Oscar's wearing his usual smile that works surprisingly well as a poker face. I don't really know what's going on in his head, but he looks much more entertained by Wilf than I do. There's something intimidating about him. Did I forget to mention that Oscar would be joining us? Sorry, I didn't mean to... You're a lot jumpier than you were before. I'm guessing you talked to Selwyn. I nod slowly, not really knowing what to expect from the other weasel. We were completely different in every way. I had no idea what's going on in his mind. But he just gives me a devious grin that makes me shiver, though I'm not sure if it's because I'm scared or because he's insanely attractive. Probably a bit of both. God, I'm not gonna attack you. Why do you look terrified of me? I'm not that bad, most of the time. I think he finds you hot, and that's making him nervous. Oscar! Oh, I figured that out already, but that's hardly surprising. And don't worry, Wallace, you're not gonna be my prey. It seems like you've got your hands full with this one already. Wilf gestures to Oscar with a curious glint to his eyes. He leans across the table, the action causing his already loose tank top to nearly slide off his shoulders. Though things seem a little different than before. The big guy over here was a lot more touchy with you. Now you're sitting so far apart. Did he dump you? What do you mean? Ah, you're trying to keep it quiet. I see. The two of you aren't even that far yet. I suppose that's not too surprising. If I'm being honest, I didn't expect you two to make it this far, but I knew I saw something in you. I knew you had something about you. I guess I can stay to talk. He climbs into the bench next to Oscar while I sit on the opposite side of both of them. He ends up being pressed up against Oscar's arm, but doesn't acknowledge it at all. In fact, his focus never leaves me at all. Oscar doesn't look offended by this at all. In fact, he tries to offer the weasel a handshake, but Wilf just stares down at it like he's confused as to what Oscar's trying to pull. Eventually, he sighs and takes his hand, much to the otter's delight. He looks very proud of himself, though Wilf doesn't look as annoyed as he sounds. I can see why Selwyn took a liking to you. You're so similar, it hurts. I'm gonna take that as a compliment. You should. He's doing well for himself. Better than most of the people I meet. Better than the two of you, if I had to guess. What makes you say that? I told you not to go for a guy like him. Wilf leans his chin into his palm while tossing his thumb in Oscar's direction, much to his confusion. But guys like you always find a way, I suppose. Not very surprised. And you're cute, too. You really are the whole package, aren't you? He's pretty great, isn't he? A bit more feisty than what I'm used to. Not that that's a bad thing. You guys! We should probably stop. I can carry him home, but I don't think he'd be happy with me if he passed out. Where's the fun in stopping now? The grinning flashes towards me reminds me of a predator about to pounce on his prey, and it's enough to remind me of Selwyn's cautious words regarding Wilf. Except before I can truly get uncomfortable, it fades away into something less primal, though it never loses its conniving edge. But you didn't call me out here for this, regardless of how fun it is. So, what do you want? And just like that, all the playful teasing leaves his tone, and that smile is replaced with a blank stare as he watches me closely. The shift in his entire demeanor causes Oscar to straighten his back and his eyes to lock with mine as well. Despite his usual default smile being on his face, there's a warning written all over his face. Tread carefully. Now more than ever, I wish we had Selwyn here to help navigate us through this conversation. I feel like he'd help us figure out what is just him messing with us, or something to be actually worried about. I wanted to ask you about Conrad and if he knew anything about the Helena situation. I expected some reaction to hearing them, but he just continues his blank stare, as if the names weren't of any interest to him. I almost considered just calling this whole thing a failure, but he shrugs. I wasn't close to him. He was on the team, but that's it. We weren't friends and we barely talked. And you happened to hang out with all his friends. Seems a little strange, don't you think? I didn't know Nathan either. It was only after Ryan roped all of us together that we ended up in the same friend group, though I still wouldn't call us friends. You wouldn't watch Nathan dead spending time with me alone. You wouldn't catch Nathan dead spending time with me alone. Does he not like you? He's more scared of me. That grin spreads across his face, but doesn't reach his eyes, which still hold that neutral intensity that keeps me questioning just what he's thinking, but it's feral all the same. Even Oscar looks more confused than I've ever seen him. I didn't really think about it much, but Oscar's a really perceptive guy, so he's probably not used to having someone as unreadable as Wilf. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. I want to see more of Wilf. He's a very interesting character. I really like him so far. Oh, God. Yeah, he's fucking hot. Oh, my God. Alright, anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!